Washington's 2024 legislative session wrapped up late last week, but not before lawmakers there approved 3 voter-backed initiatives that will soon become law. They do not require Governor Inslee's signature, and they will take effect in just under 90 days. There are 3 other initiatives that Washington voters will decide in November. We'll explain each one, starting with the 3 that will soon take effect. The most notable rolls back restrictions on police chases. Back in 2021, lawmakers passed limits only allowing chases in cases involving drunk drivers, escapes, and violent and sexual crimes. Many people believe that that policy led to a rise in some crimes, with one sheriff testifying that criminals learned if they committed property crimes like burglarizing a pot shop or stealing a car, that'd be easy. They wouldn't be chased. He says passing the initiative to allow pursuits for any law that's broken sends the correct message. While chases can be dangerous, he says law enforcement, not lawmakers, need to determine when to chase and when to give up.
We are going to do what's right, which is to give the discretion back to the 2 people in this world who are most knowledgeable about the instance at hand, which is the pursuing deputy and the supervisor they're communicating all of the risk factors to.
We expect to see more injuries, more deaths, more collateral damage.
The Washington Coalition for Police Accountability, as you heard, fought against attempts to loosen restrictions and hope agencies will adjust their policies to limit pursuits. The Democratic Speaker of the House, who supported the original law and then voted in favor of the rollback initiative, said she expects some agencies will continue to limit their chases. The second initiative that's soon to be law involves income taxes. Washington's one of only 9 states that does not levy an income tax. The new law prevents state, county, and city governments from even trying to establish one in the future. Past attempts at creating income taxes in Washington state have failed at the ballot box. It was even ruled unconstitutional by the state's Supreme Court. Lawmakers held a public hearing on this measure last Tuesday. Folks on both sides of the debate lined up to be heard.
This lack of trust is really the reason that this initiative is necessary and why it's supported by so many Washington taxpayers. The people want to say as clearly as possible, enough is enough. Give us control of our checkbook back from the state.
I have spoken out about the need for a more equitable tax code in Washington state because I am interested in living in a place that has clean air, clean water, investments in public schools, and strong communities. To have these things, we have to pay for them.
The third initiative has to do with parental rights, guaranteeing their right to access their child's school records. That includes things like medical, health, and counseling records. Some believe parents having that much access could cause issues. The Greater Seattle Business Association, for example, says that could make kids not want to come forward for counseling or to be scared to identify with new pronouns at school.
We know that parents' rights are protected and that children's rights need to be protected too.
There is nothing in 2081 that is anti-LGBTQ. There is nothing in the initiative that is anti-trans or anything like that. There are interested groups that want to make that an issue, but that is false and it's divisive.
All right, now let's get to the statewide initiatives that you Washington voters are going to be deciding on in November. One would repeal the state's capital gains tax, which is a tax on any profit you make from the sale of something. Think real estate, stock market, a business, things like that. The second issue on the ballot is proposing a repeal of Washington's Climate Commitment Act, which has faced harsh criticism, especially for its role in pushing the state's gas prices to one of the most expensive in the nation. And the last initiative on the ballot would allow people to opt out of putting money towards Washington's long-term care program, which happens automatically right now. The arguments for and against these policies are much of the same that we hear about all the time. State agencies use the money for public services, things like road projects, schools, and child care facilities. The governor says he will spend his last few months in office defending these measures and hoping the voters strike them down.
Those initiatives jointly would kneecap, would blow a hole in all of these benefits that Washingtonians are now enjoying. And I do not believe that Washingtonians want to gut our funding for schools. I don't think they want to gut our funding for transportation.
We can afford these tax reforms and repeals without putting any hardship on the basic functions of the state government.
In addition to the decrease in funding, Governor Inslee says eliminating the climate commitment, that would mean an increase to pollution. An interesting note to all 6 of these ballot initiatives, they were pushed by a single group called Let's Go Washington. That's a political action committee sponsored by Brian Haywood. That's a hedge fund manager and a regular donor to Republicans. In fact, Washington's Republican Party is one of the group's top 5 contributors. We'd love to hear from you who live north of the Columbia River. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the initiatives that will become law? Police pursuits, no income tax, parents' access to their kids' records. And how about the 3 you're going to vote on? Capital gains tax, repealing the Climate Act, and being able to opt out of the state's long-term care program. You know the drill. You can email us. The address is thestory@kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090. I look forward to hearing from you.